Thank you for joining us on KBC Channel 1, the channel that gives you the most comprehensive news coverage. My name is Kasavuli, and this is the Legends Edition. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, later today, we're going to have Topi Liambila giving us the sports news. But just before we get into our news, we also want to announce that we are going to host Henry Wanyoike, a gentleman that has beaten his own world record over and over and over, and it still stands unbeaten. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Legends Edition tonight.
Nimekuja hapa wananchi kuhakikishia hivi, hakuna mtu atahamishwa kutoka pande hii ya Laikipia.
Picking up the pieces, an easy calm returns to Olmoran area of Laikipia County with heavy presence of security officers.
There is no Kenya for any tribe. Kenya belongs to all of us.
It is a battle for the youth. Deputy President William Ruto terms his bottom-up approach revolutionary as opposition leader Raila Odinga whips up young people in Luo Nyanza to take ID cards.
For the last 2 months, we have been recovering dead bodies from the Tana River, and most of these bodies are unidentified.
And who are these people? Police in Garissa seek help to identify 14 bodies discovered in the last 4 months with no documentation. And welcome to the news. The government has begun the construction of houses for families whose homes were burnt down in the ongoing bandit attacks in Laikipia. Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who has been on a tour of the area, Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who has been on a tour of the area, oversaw the distribution of building materials and foodstuff to displaced families after he commissioned the Olmoran Police Division. The station in the volatile Laikipia West will be manned by 100 police officers.
The Olmoran, the epicenter of the bandit attacks in Laikipia, had a calm night Friday. After the visit by Interior CS Fred Matiang'i, who did not leave the area, guns seemingly went silent as police patrolled the area from dusk to dawn. The efforts by the huge contingent of police officers given a shot in the arm by the deployment of Kenya Defence Forces officers around Laikipia. The government now urging area residents to go back to rebuilding their lives.
Nimekuja hapa wananchi kuhakikishia hivi, hakuna mtu atahamishwa kutoka pande hii ya Laikipia. Kila mtu ako hapa kwa haki, na kwa sababu hapa ni kwenu, na wewe ujisikie uko nyumbani, uko kwa shamba yako, uko kwa nyumba yako, hakuna mtu atahamishwa kutoka hapa.
Na nataka nimshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais kwa sababu ya kushughulika na kazi hii na kutuma Daktari Matiang'i na maofisa hawa.
Kwa hivyo ombi langu kwa serikali ni kwamba wahakikishe kwamba majangili wametoka pande hiyo ndio tuweze kukaa. Sababu ni bure hata tukijengewa na bado hizo au majangili wakiwa bado kwa msituni, bado hakuna furaha ya kuishi katika hizo manyumba ambayo tumejengewa.
CS Matiang'i oversaw the distribution of building materials and foodstuff to the 29 households and approximately 200 families displaced during the attacks. The CS has ordered that schools in the area, some which are yet to reopen for the first term, to resume classes, assuring locals of the safety of their children and teachers.
We will protect the teachers, and the teachers who are working here can be assured that we will patrol the areas around the schools, and when the school time ends in the afternoon at 4:30, our teams jointly with the KPR will walk along the ways. In any case, none of these kids come from very far away. Many of them operate on a radius of about 3 to 5 kilometers.
And following his announcement Friday of a new police division headquarters in Olmoran, the CS also commissioned the building to have 100 police officers.
Na pale leo asubuhi tumeanzisha divisional police headquarter ambao tumeongeza askari mara 3 ya wale ambao walikuwa kule. Tumechukua pia askari wengine KPR wa raia wale tunawapea bunduki, wanashirikiana na polisi kufanya patrol. Na tutajenga police station zingine 3 pande ile Wanyoike, Survey na kule kwingine chini, kuhakikisha kwamba tuna patrol hiyo area yote, tuna askari wa kutosha.
John Jacob Kiria, Legends Edition.
Police spokesman Bruno Shioso now says that the fire that broke out at the Mariguet Primary School in Laikipia County was not as a result of arson, but an attempt to harvest honey. Shioso says a beehive had formed in one of the classrooms used as a store with lots of building timber, which caught fire but was promptly put out by security patrol that responded to the incident.
The scenes at the Mariguet Primary School in Olmoran, Laikipia County earlier this week. Smoke, gunshots and panic. According to police, this was not arson but an attempt to harvest honey.
Investigation has revealed that the motive of the fire was not criminal arson but an attempt to harvest honey from a beehive that had formed in one classroom used as a store, with lots of building timber which caught fire but was promptly put off by a security patrol detail that responded to the distress.
Shioso's remake of the happenings at Mariguet Primary School this week differs with what was reported by journalists on the ground.
The media, including bloggers, to desist from sensational reporting and exhibit a sense of professionalism and objectivity. The office of the police spokesman or person and all our field commanders are available to verify any claims that you might want to pursue.
Bruno Shioso believes that the police have remained honest in keeping the country abreast with the unfolding security situation in Laikipia County.
The law enforcement strategy has shifted now and focused on the protection of civilians within the affected settlements. This is so to reassure the victims of violence of their utmost security and safety, including that of their properties.
She also says the government will ensure lasting peace in Laikipia and quash every element seen as a threat to security in the region.
The Ministry of Environment is embracing technology to help in policing the country's dwindling forest resource. As a start, the ministry has roped in Timberter application by an Estonian startup that will be able to monitor logging and help in sustainable forest management. Visiting Estonian President Kersti Kaljulaid in the company of Environment Cabinet Secretary Kyriako Tobiko Saturday toured the Kenya Forest Services headquarters in Karura Forest, where the technology has been deployed.
To try and protect the country's prized forest, the Ministry of Environment is adopting new technology that has capabilities of tracking the logging process. Visiting Estonian President Kersti Kaljulaid, who toured Karura Forest on Saturday to witness first-hand technology developed in her country and now embraced in Kenya on a pilot phase. The application aims to improve timber movement and detect volume accountability, as well as assist forest management and supervision bodies in conducting effective state control over forest use and its protection.
But we need to keep this exponential growth going because we are billions of people. And if we get to the level of, let's say, 70% of the global population having participated in, then we will be, as community of human beings, vaccinated against polluting our parks, roadsides and bushes.
According to the Environment Cabinet Secretary Kyriako Tobiko, the new technology is key in solving deforestation and the tree logging menace in Kenya.
Showcasing digital solutions in forestry sector, again, with a young generation.
The Chief Conservative Forest, Julius Kamau, touting the new technology as a game changer in managing forest resources, terming it timely in dealing with the thorny issues of logging.
Which is able to help the Kenya Forest Service and the private sector to measure the volume of wood in a transparent way. It's also able to help us to track that wood so that if it is located, its origin is this area, it has the georeference and all the parameters that measures that wood, and it is barcoded.
The visiting head of state also toured Michuki Memorial Park, where she interacted with various players in the conservation sector. While with the adaptation of the Tambeta application, the Ministry of Environment continues to apply more digital solutions, including the aerial seedling that is meant to help in the planting of over 2 billion trees for Legends Edition. I'm Serafina Robbie.
Deputy President William Ruto has warned the youth against engaging in tribal politics, terming it destructive for the nation's growth and development. Ruto, who met a section of youth at his current residence in Nairobi, insisted that the youth must constructively be involved in shaping the future of this country.
Deputy President William Ruto today extended his charm offensive to a section of youth he met at his current residence in Nairobi. Ruto challenged the youth to play an active role in changing the politics of the country.
This country is about every young person. You are the greatest stakeholders of the now and the future of our nation. You must purposefully make the decision that you are going to be part and parcel, and you are going to make your contribution towards changing the politics of our nation.
Ruto warned the youth against being lured into engaging in tribal politics.
There is no way a tribal party can sort out the challenges we have. There is no way a leader who thinks about his tribe and about his community will ever get us a solution that is going to satisfy the people of Kenya. Because there is no Kenya for any tribe. Kenya belongs to all of us.
To be that generation of leaders that is breaking free from the servitude of ethnic mobilization. If there are people who suffer, if there are people who bear the brunt of bad politics, it is the young people in our nation.
Ruto, who hopes to become Kenya's 5th president, said that his vision is to eliminate discrepancies in wealth distribution through his bottom-up economic strategy. For Legends Edition, I'm Safin Aching Oma.
ODM party leader Raila Odinga has challenged voters from the Nyanza stronghold to register as voters. Raila says his candidature in any given capacity will be determined by voter registration numbers in his strongholds. Delivering his speech in his mother tongue in Rangwe constituency, Raila said he is keenly monitoring his opponent's movements.
ODM leader Raila Odinga and his allies were attending a burial service in Rangwe, Homa Bay County, where 2022 succession politics took center stage. Raila, speaking to his stronghold in their mother tongue, said he is not in a hurry to declare his political interest.
I will first look at the voter register before announcing my presidency. The press will obviously report that Raila declared his candidature.
The opposition leader asked his supporters to ensure they register as voters in the forthcoming voter registration exercise.
I cannot vie for the presidency if our people are not registered as voters. Our people must register as voters, including those who didn't vote last time round.
MPs who accompanied Raila took issue with Deputy President William Ruto that they claimed is causing rebellion in the government.
He has been given another 10 years in government. Instead of working, he is busy arguing with his boss.
There are some leaders in this republic who think they have a monopoly of God, who think that the Bible was made for them. Whenever they are caught pants down and bottoms up, they run to the next church.
The ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna called for political tolerance ahead of 2022 campaigns, saying minority parties should be given a conducive atmosphere to woo voters.
Na sisi tunataka tuwe na siasa za amani, ya kwamba matamshi ya kusema mtu fulani hawezi kanyaga hapa, chamba fulani hawezi kuja hapa, hayo matamshi yalipitwa na wakati.
Kevin Washira, Legends Edition.
And now on to Garissa. Police are puzzled with the discovery of 14 bodies discovered within Garissa and Tana River counties in the last 4 months. The mystery further deepens as no one has come forward to report any missing persons or claim any of the bodies lying at the Garissa Referral Hospital. Tana North Sub-County Police Commander Ali Ndiema is now appealing to members of the public to assist in identifying the bodies. Samples from the bodies have, however, been taken to the government chemist for further analysis.
The discovery of 14 bodies in Garissa and Tana River counties in the past 4 months has raised concerns among security agents, area leaders and residents of Garissa and Tana River counties. Tana River North Sub-County Police Commander Ali Ndiema says police have had challenges carrying out further investigations because no one has come forward to report a missing person or identify the bodies.
We have been recovering dead bodies from the Tana River, and most of these bodies are unidentified. Most of these bodies have been decomposed beyond recognition. So what police are doing is to try and ensure that we get the samples for the purpose of...
Ndiema says the bodies are so decomposed that the police cannot take fingerprints and that all were discovered with no identification document.
Bodies have been killed in a systematic way. This person are being tied with certain weight so that they are not easily discovered. So they end up staying underwater for a number of days.
His Garissa counterpart Joseph Wanyoike reiterated the same appeal, saying 4 of the bodies were discovered within Iftin and 4 others in Garissa.
Kama mashirika ya kutetea haki za binadamu tuko na wasiwasi kwa sababu tumeona miili isiyopungua 11 ambayo mengine imefungwa mikono, na pia tumeoneshwa mawe ambayo yalikuwa yamefungwa katika hiyo miili. So tunaomba vikosi vya usalama viweze kuchunguza haya mambo yanayofanyika na tuweze kujua hasa ni kipi kinachoendelea katika maeneo haya.
Garissa Township MP Eden Dwale, while describing the killings as shocking, said the country, and more so the people of Garissa, must be given answers to the mysterious deaths. Dwale has called on the CS Interior, the IG, the Office of the DPP and the DCI to act swiftly in investigating and resolving the numerous cases of deaths being reported across the country. Caroline Kamar reporting for the Legends Edition.
Well, on that story, we take our first break, and when we come back, of course, we have Henry Wanyoike in the studio with us. Don't go away.
Usitegemee kupata jino lenye afya kwenye mdomo uliooza. Usikubali kupokea zawadi ya nguo kutoka kwa mtu aliyeuchi. Mapenzi ni kufaana, nifae ni kufae. Hisani ni njia mbili, nipe nikupe. Ila ni muhimu kufahamu kuwa sio binadamu wote watakushukuru hata watendeapo mema. Ukitaka thawabu kutoka mbinguni, we tenda wema tu, uondoke.
Ili kupata skiza tune ya pumzi ya busara, bonyeza star 811 star 815 hash. Bonyeza star 811 star 815 hash.
Tumalizane na haya na tukimaliza tutaenda mwangalia.
Unajua mimi sipati picha. Yaani sielewi kabisa. Nasikia take over.
Kila siku tutakutana na wewe tu. Mbona wewe kila time ni wewe?
Lakini muda mrefu sana mmemshika.
Uchunguzi wa serikali ni taratibu tu. Hatufanyi vitu tu kwa haraka.
Niache! Niache bana.
You tell me so. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I love you. For the street, to be strong, the will to carry on. One more try. I didn't know how much I loved you. As I lay me down to sleep, as I pray.
Welcome back. 511 people have tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. This pushes Kenya's case load to 243,456. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe says the new figures represent a slight drop in the positivity rate, which now stands at 7.9%. In the latest statistics, 6 more deaths have been recorded, all of them from late audits conducted in July, August and September. The death toll now stands at 4,902, and globally over 223 million cases have been reported, with the number of fatalities standing at over 4.6 million as per data from Johns Hopkins University. Meanwhile, a total of over 3 million COVID-19 vaccines have so far been administered in the country. Residents of Shantabak area of Lagdera sub-county in Garissa County are calling on the government to step up efforts to cushion them against adverse effects of the ongoing drought. The residents say that despite ongoing efforts to ensure water reaches them in the interior parts of the county, lack of pasture also remains a challenge as they continue to lose livestock.
Shantabak village, Garissa County. Here, everyone is constantly on the move in search of pasture and a prized resource, water. One might think that the ongoing drought is headquartered here. Carcasses of livestock who lost will to survive are some of evidences of how bad things are here.
Sisi kama Wasomali ambayo wanaishi hapa, tegemeo yetu ilikuwa hiyo ng'ombe na hiyo mbuzi na pia maziwa na nyama. Hizo yote sasa zimepotea, hazipatikani.
Residents here are part of a group of 2 million people spread across 10 counties who are worst hit by the national disaster. Known as the sheep of the desert, camels are the ones strong enough to withstand constant perilous journeys in search of water.
Ukiangalia pandi na pandi kuna msoko kadhaa. Msonga ziko mingi ya mbuzi na ng'ombe, zingine zinakufia njiani wakati zinakuja kujaribu kutafuta maji. Lakini saa hii maisha imekuwa ngumu kidogo, na tumeona mbuzi tupelekea gari ya watabusa maji.
Locals here hope that the ongoing mitigation efforts can be tripled here to save them from this extreme.
When you address the water, you are missing another component. You are missing pasture. You are missing veterinary services. So with lack of pasture, when animals are underfed, a lot of diseases creep in. And that's now what you are suffering from.
Those rock distances also affects the animals, the community themselves. So we are intending to intensify that we provide not only water, quality water to the people of these 3 constituencies in which we are working.
The severity of the drought currently ravaging parts of the country is clearly evident in this part of Garissa County, with the area residents calling on the government to step up efforts geared towards cushioning them against further loss. Nancy Okware, Legends Edition from Garissa County.
Severe hardship in that county. A family in Kiambu County is appealing to well-wishers to help them raise some 700,000 shillings to clear an outstanding medical bill at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Pius Njue, or Pius Njue, a border operator, was knocked down by a speeding vehicle along the southern bypass and sustained head injuries which led to paralysis.
Eunice Njue is distraught and is running out of financial options to save the life of her husband. The mother of three says Pius Njue, the family's breadwinner, is paralyzed after he was involved in an accident.
Hapo ndipo mwenye gari alimtoka nyuma, mzee wangu akiwa mbele na customer, na akakuja kumovertake na kumgonga, na hapo akaanguka, na nilisikia alitaka kutoroka, lakini hapo kulikuwa na watu, kwa hivyo hakuweza kutoroka. Wakamchukua, polisi wakakuja, wakamchukua na akapelekwa Neema Hospital. Na kutoka Neema akaenda kuhudumiwa, alafu akatransferiwa Kenyatta Hospital. Maybe vile ataendelea na matibabu tena, kutoka hapo akifunikwa kichwa, maybe ndo side yake ya right itaweza kuamka. Sahi mnamuona hapa haizi jiamsha, haizi jikulisha. Hiyo ni kazi yenye mimi nafanya. Kuna kitu anajifanyia kwa sahi, hakuna kitu anaweza jifanyia. Juu hata wakati yako na homa hawezi jitoa makamasi. So ni mimi ni mtu wa makamasi. Wakati hata akakuwa nikimpatia chakula atazimwagikia huku, yeye hawezi jipanguza. So ni mimi niko na yeye hapa nikimfanyia kila kitu.
Eunice says though her husband was discharged from hospital, the family still needs to settle a medical bill amounting to 700,000 shillings, though the amount is likely to go up.
Bili yake ilikuwa 650. So alikaa pale tena kwa mwezi mwingine moja tukitafuta pesa, lakini kwa bahati tu yake Mwenyezi Mungu tukabahatika kulipa 150 na akaweza kutoka, tukatoka na deni. Sasa nikaambiwa kwa deni yake nitakuwa nalipa per month 5,000, zile zenye hazijaipatikana hata leo.
Pius Njue is said to have been on his normal daily routine when tragedy struck.
Mashinda ni mengi hapa. Haya, yeye na mfunga pampers. Kupata pampers zake inakuwa ni shida, kwa usaidizi tu. Angaliwe arudi hospitalini na aweze kutibiwa.
Financial donations can be sent to 0729852183.
Anti-female genital mutilation crusaders now say ending the vice requires a change in strategy. Speaking after a meeting in Baringo, the crusaders, under the umbrella of the Sauti ya Dada Africa Association and sensitization of communities through civic education, is a better approach to combat the outlawed practice.
A section of crusaders and religious leaders championing for an end to rising cases of female genital mutilation in Baringo want the current strategy involving courts change and instead civic education embraced.
I think there is a disconnect between the policy, community, and even the law implementers. So basically what we need to do at the moment, we need first of all to begin policy dialogues.
Elsewhere, former nominated Senator Isaac Mwaura claims his life is in danger. Mwaura says a drone allegedly hovered his compound for minutes before flying away.
And, I wonder who would be interested in coming to snoop around my house And this is not the first incident, because I remember it has happened to the Deputy President, it has happened to Kivutha Kibwana, Murkomen, and maybe others. Why? That I am extremely firm and I cannot be swayed by anyone or anything. Kenyans have political rights and they have the right to self-determination.
Meanwhile, a family in Eastleigh, Nairobi County is desperately searching for their kin who went missing on 27th of August 2021. Said Mohammed, a 12-year-old and grade 5 pupil at Pumwani School, is said to have disappeared after he was allegedly punished by his teacher.
Tafadhali kama mtu anaona taleta msikiti ya tuarif istaret ama msikiti yote.
Sasa hizi tunamwambia ile mtu akiona kwa mahali zozote asaidie.
Anyone with information regarding Mohammed can call his father Mohammed Osman on 0722 276726 or report to the nearest police station. Finally, the Center for Corporate Governance Association of Professional Societies of East Africa and an Alumni Network Center for Corporate Governance have signed an MOU to train some 1,000 professionals annually on sound corporate leadership, accountability, and prudential allocation of resources. The organization said professionals contribute up to 30% of the GDP in various sectors of the economy, hence the need to enhance their training.
Always in the discussion in Kenya today is always corruption, and we normally say behind every corrupt act there is a professional. Okay, so APSEA tries to bring and instill professionalism, because that professional who is engaged in corrupt practices, they have deviated, from the professional dictates.
Timothy Kipnusu for Legends Edition.
Whitaker Gregg of Tulsa has since felt the need to extend this talk to her sons.
Make sure your hands are visible. Don't put them in your pockets. You can't reach for anything. The objective is for you to come home alive.
You got to remember that I was in such a dark place that I was making decisions with anticipating everything crumbling. God sees color, and color is beautiful. Ethnicity is beautiful. It's not problematic.
Pray this on me. Pray this, hold on. Let me go. I've been going through so much, I swear these people let my throat. That's on me, that's on mamas. On my mama, I can't take no more, so miss me with that drama. Get your commas.
Emperor Yingzong ascended the throne at a young age.
Empress Mother Sun attended to state affairs.
You've got an opportunity to be the emperor. I'm willing to help you take the throne. Are you in or are you not?
Yingzong listened to the words of eunuch Wang Zhen and became quite discontented with her.
She can't just do what she wants.
I'm doing this for your own good.
Wang Zhen was afraid it would affect his own position and ordered assassins to kill Prince Chen before his arrival at the capital.
It's another Saturday, and we are so happy to be hosting one of our living legends who has entertained us, who has carried us with him wherever he went all over the world. We are talking about Henry Wanyoike. He has won gold in 3 different Olympics: the Athens Olympics, the Sydney, Australia Olympics, and in Beijing. And he's here in the studio with us. Welcome,
Thank
Henry.
you, Kasavuli, and thanks so much to the viewers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see you. We've just been following you on the international arena, you know, doing the marathons and, of course, participating in the Olympics. And we just want to say thank you so very much.
Thank you. It's my honor.
For carrying the flags
Thank
so
you.
high. Let's talk about Henry Wanyoike, you know, as a young child growing up. You grew up in Murang'a?
No, in Kiambu.
In Kiambu?
Yeah, in Kiambu County.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I grew up in Kiambu, which is in Kabete. Kabete, ward of Kitaro.
Yeah.
I went through Kajero Primary School, and then later I joined Kahuhu High School.
Okay.
By that time, I used to have very good sight.
Yeah.
So I went to the normal schools. I didn't have any challenge with my sight.
Now, what happened at 21?
Okay, at the age of 21, I went to bed on 30th April of 1995 before I had a mouse stroke. And on 30th April 1995, I went to bed with my good sight. And from 1st May of 1995, I've never been able to see with my sight again. So it's something which happened all of a sudden after recovering from the stroke. Then it affected my optic nerves.
Wow. What did the doctors say, you know, attributed to this condition?
Okay, I went to various hospitals and didn't get the right answer of what might have caused the stroke, and also what happened with my sight. So I was asking the games teacher, how will I be able to make it to run without sight? But he had to take me through the program. That was Mr. Dominic Munyi, who was a games teacher. And then I used to run with the principal, Mr. Saya, who was very kind to me, and he was giving me his time to run with him. And then later in the steam, when I was still in Machakos, I was able to qualify to go to Sydney Paralympics.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And of course, you came back with a gold.
In fact, when we came back, that was the only gold medal we brought in Kenya. And I was very excited to come back with that medal for the first time. And I remember when we went to Sydney, I remember during the introduction of those people who are taking part in the 5,000 meters, I had a very shallow introduction. They just mentioned my name, Henry Wanyoike, and 3 from Kenya, that's all. But the other guys I was racing with them, they had a very good history. In fact, I turned to my guy, I told him, next time we need a better introduction. So from the start to the finishing, I had a lot of energy. In fact, towards the end, I was even dragging my guide. He was not able to keep up with his speed. We won the race. Yeah. Even the whole world protested that, I was given the wrong classification. But later I got my medal. When we came back here, I was able to be awarded with the honor of Grand Warrior at the State House by former President Moi for bringing fame to the country and the whole of Africa.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is great. Now, from Sydney, of course, we're just talking about the Paralympics. Then we went to Athens. Is it Athens that was next?
I went to Athens. Yes. I still won medals. I went to Beijing. Another medal. Then in London, I had an injury in London, so I didn't make it to the finishing. I wanted to do the marathon. In fact, what is missing in my basket for many medals, it's only the Paralympic gold medal for marathon. And this year I was supposed to go there, but I just got an injury towards after qualification in Geneva, Switzerland this year. So I didn't make it to go, but all is not lost. I'm planning to do the World Championships next year.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Boston marathons, you've won quite a few of those, you know?
Yeah, I've done the Boston Marathon, I've done the London Marathons, and I've also done many of the Stanchart Marathons in globally during the Seeing is Believing campaign. And I have won many trophies. When you come to my house, there are so many trophies. I've done many marathons. And I remember my first marathon in Japan, It was so tough. After the race, I was so exhausted. I could not be able to make it. And I said to myself, I'll never do another marathon. But later, after 1 year, I went to Boston and I won with a very good time. And from there, I was able to be beating my own records. So from the 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, and 10,000 meters, I still have those 3 world records up to date. So even for those who went to Tokyo just the other day, nobody was even close to my records.
Let's talk about April 17th, 2005 and April 24th, 2005. These were very close dates. And you had a race in London, you had a race in Hamburg. How did you manage that?
Okay, there was a race in London which was entered before. I was going to do the campaign with the Stand Chart for Seeing is Believing. And then I got another invitation in Germany, in Hamburg. So, and everybody wanted me to be in the 2 events. So I had to train to go an extra mile. I was training like 2 times or 3 times in a day. And I went to London. I was able to beat the world record there in London, and I was so very much happy. And I think because of that excitement, that 1 week later I went to Hamburg, and I was able to do even much better. I was able to beat that record once more. So in 1 week I was able to beat 2 world records.
Now you're also an author. Victory Despite Blindness.
Yeah.
You know, these books that are right here on the table. And of course, rising above any calamity, any trauma. Tell us about the books.
Okay, for the challenges I've gone through and what I've been able to encounter with the 2 lives of when I had sight and without sight, there is a lot which has happened to me. And I thought it is good to have a story of myself, so that even the generation, for those people who think the life has come to an end, those who have given up in life, when they read my story, what I have gone through after going to bed and the next day you are not able to see, and I was able to pick up those pieces, and I was able to become a world champion and even being featured in the Guinness Book of Records.
Now, these are 3 books, but under the same title. They are written in 3 different languages. One is in English, the other one is in Dutch, spoken in Holland.
Yeah.
And the other one is in Deutsch, spoken in Germany.
Yeah. So I got another in Germany who did the translation, and then Ben Fru copied, but he died a few years ago. I'm sorry about that.
Sorry.
And then I had another author from Netherlands who was so much interested to do the story, so that the people in in Netherlands and in Germany, they can read the book. In fact, the children's Bible in Germany of 2017 and 2018, there was a story inside that book, the Bible for the children. So it has been done in different languages. Even I had a book of Chinese, which is a cartoon book in Chinese and also in Japanese. Yeah.
Your foundation, Henry Wanyoike Foundation, this is a foundation that caters to the vulnerable in communities. Just walk us through it.
Okay, the Henry Wanyoike Foundation was registered in 2005. And when I won the 2 gold medals in Athens, many people are coming to look for support. And through the friends of who are very close to me, we thought it is good we have an umbrella body whereby we can be able to support these people through that organization. And the foundation idea was born, and we registered the foundation in 2005. And we have 2 or 3 objectives. We support the people with disability with the devices like wheelchairs, the walking sticks, and etc.
Let's talk about the fight against substance abuse. You're quite involved with drug abuse, substance abuse.
I'm very, very much involved.
Yes.
And we in fact, there was a group of there is an organization in Kenya. We call it Alive and Kicking. They make balls. And that is how we started to talk. Through the balls, we write the message. So before they start the game, they can see the message from the boss, and also we had the big posters, and through the Wanyoike Foundation we look for the experts to come and talk to these young people, because most of the young people, they have been involved in one or the other to use this with this substance, of which it is not good for their health. And that is why I decided to be moving to these schools, so that I can be able to talk to these young people, to prepare them even before they come out of the school, the challenges they might face after the school.
Well, you've brought gold, you've flown the flag very, very high, and we've been so happy to be associated with you and to be represented by you. You've been a great ambassador of Kenya, you know, everywhere that you've gone. Now, the last question, are you married? Do you have children?
Yeah, I'm so happy that even being a person with a disability, I'm still responsible. I have a wife, and I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and I'm proud to be a father. So when I go there and they call me father, I feel very good that I have and I have a generation I'm bringing up, and I want to see them being champions like myself. So when I'm talking about these young people, I still have the teenagers, I still have now people to talk to.
How long have you been with Paul?
Paul, have been with him for more than 10 years. Wow. He has been of great support.
Yes.
Most of these records you can see we be together.
Yes.
You know, with the team, I believe in teamwork.
Yes.
That spirit of teamwork is very, very good. When I'm down, he's there to lift my spirit. When he's down, I'm there to lift his spirit.
Well, losing sight does not mean losing vision. He is a man, despite losing his sight, he has been victorious in so many feats, not only in Kenya, but all over the world. You and I can make it. Never give up.
This week on Tech on Tech.
In today's program, we are looking into community networks.
So community networks are internet networks that are started by the communities for the communities.
We bring you the best in matters technology. Always block and report any users who harass or bully you or others online. And that has been Tech News. I've been impressed that iOS is finally opening up to the Android community. This Sunday and every other Sunday at 4:20 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
The buildings are so tall and beautiful.
Meanyu Erishata Autongani.
I've heard them talking about the father of the house, but I've never seen him. What is this?
I love the smell.
Should have told her how you feel.
Then what?
It's the fresh homie, bust the Versace. Ooh, I'm in Versace, cover my face. Carve this flower on an expressive vase. A number in my phone, saved like mace.
Just a quick reminder, you're watching the Legends Edition, and now just before we go to our sports segment, we want to say thank you for watching The Living Legends. Now, Topi, over to you.
Well, it was great. I mean, listening to Henry Wanyoike, he's one hell of a funny guy. I saw him in 2012, he's unbelievable. You must have found him very interesting. Okay?
Well, he was very, very interesting, you know.
He's very interesting. Well,
and he beat his own, you know, he beats his own record every time he goes for, for a meet.
And it's quite an inspiration, at least for. Can you imagine having been seeing up to 21 and then?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that was
But
devastating.
it's very reassuring, at least, and also very showing out there that we have people who can actually rise from the ashes like the phoenix.
Yes, like the phoenix. Yes. So over to you. Take it.
Thank you, Catherine, for that very interesting conversation with Henry Wanyoike. Now we get to Amtopi Lembila and with the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. And as usual in the highlights today, we have got the National Super League Awards coming up this Wednesday. And the Thika Mom saves the community. We shall hear about that in the highlights. And also on the international scene, the US Open final gears up with Djokovic and Medvedev up tomorrow morning. For those fans, stay tuned. While on the English Premier League, it resumes with very interesting results. So stay tuned. Well, we start off with the 2020-21 National Super League NSL Awards Gala will be held this Wednesday, September 15, with the event awarding deserving players and coaches who performed exemplarily during the season, which was held under unprecedented conditions due to the COVID-19 pandemic that saw the season halted twice before resuming. Richard Munga with the story.
There will be a total of 12 categories to be awarded at the gala, the top being the most valuable player. Apart from the MVP, the other main categories to be awarded are Team Fair Play Award, Coach of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Golden Glove for the Best Goalkeeper, Defender of the Year, the Best Midfielder, a Golden Boot winner for Top Scorer and Team of the Year. Also to be feted in a different category are the Best Referee, the Assistant Referee of the Year, and the President's Award.
A lady from Thika's Makongeni estate has helped fight crime in the town's most notorious slums through her karate club, where she trains young children self-defense skills. Elizabeth Rakwaro has trained over 500 children in a mixture of skills such as karate, kung fu, basic discipline, and other life skills. Here's the report.
Through her Young Dragons Academy that she established in 2008, Elizabeth Rakwaro, 47, popularly known as Coach, has 54 children who flock an open field where they train over the weekends and during holidays.
I have children from slums, the main slums in Thika. Tuko na Kiadutu, tuko na Gamia, tuko na kijiji cha Madharau, among others.
Mimi isipokuwa ni karate, hata sijui ningekuwa hapa sasa. Hata sijui kama ningekuwa hapa sasa. Ningekuwa mtu mbaya kabisa. Ama niliuliwa juu ya wizi, kitu kaa hiyo. Lakini juu ya karate, imenisaidia mpaka sasa hivi.
Mike, who joined the club aged 5 years and is now doing his undergraduate studies, says he has gotten enough exposure through travels locally and internationally.
Kwa waizani na kwa serikali, kwa county na wale wengine tulikuwa tunaomba kama inawezekana, kama uko pale na unaweza dhamini ama unaweza fund hichi club tupate kama hall, mahali pa kutrain, ama kama county wanaweza tutafutia a ground ambayo tunaweza ita ni ya club, wapatie ama watupatie kama club, tunaweza pata nafasi nzuri ya kutrain.
Anajali hawa watoto sana. Nimeona amenisomeshea, mtoto alifanya class 8 na sasa ameingia form 1. Siku ana hiyo uwezo, lakini kupitia yeye amefanya huyo mtoto hata aende shule.
The team has represented the country in karate and taekwondo at national levels, East Africa region and also international level, having been to the United Kingdom early last year where they won a trophy.
Well, we have heard of soccer moms, but now there is a karate mom on the horizon. I hope the other ladies also take it up and give back something to the community for such a worthy cause. Now, to the swimming area. A section of swimming stakeholders and coaches have called for the disbandment of the interim management committee of the Kenya Swimming Federation in order to pave way for elections. They claim that any further delay on elections may lead to a total ban by the World Swimming Governing Body, FINA, ultimately affecting Kenyan swimmers. Here is the report.
Because of public interest, we've engaged the services of an external lawyer to come in and support the stakeholders and have a legal strategy that will help us unlock the current injunction that is in court, because that's the only item that is locking us from having elections.
As you know, we have quite eligible FINA officials who actually even sit in FINA. They are appointed by FINA. They are called to all these events that happen internationally, FINA. Like now, the last event, they could not attend because they have been suspended. And in the event that we actually select a team to go outside of the country, they can only carry coaches and the swimmers without the officials. That means we don't even have a head of delegate. We don't have anyone who, in the event that an incident happens in the Kenya team, we don't have anyone who can put in a case for us.
On the international scene, Novak Djokovic avenged his Tokyo Olympics defeat to Alexander Zverev over 5 sets to move within one victory of a historic US Open title. The world number one will now take on Russian Daniil Medvedev in tomorrow's final after the second seed Russian eased past 21-year-old Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime in his semi-final. Let's have a look.
Defeat by Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals of the Tokyo Games had denied Djokovic the chance to become the first man to complete the Golden Slam of all 4 major titles and Olympic singles too, and set up a date with Daniil Medvedev tomorrow.
I knew coming into the court today that it's going to be a great battle, as we said prior to this match. I hope that we brought energy, that we brought the show for all of you.
Djokovic, who has already won the trophy at Flushing Meadows 3 times before, has now equalled Federer's record of 31 Grand Slam men's singles finals and will face Russian Medvedev in Sunday's final. Victory of a second seed Medvedev could see Djokovic become the first man since Rod Laver in 1969.
And now, last but not least, Cristiano Ronaldo netted twice as Manchester United beat Newcastle United 4-1 at Old Trafford. Arsenal were 1-0 winners over Norwich, while Crystal Palace handed Tottenham a shock 3-0 defeat at Selhurst Park. Elsewhere, Welsh international Daniel James is expected to make his debut tomorrow when Leeds United host former champions Liverpool at Elland Road. Rafinha will also be available after FIFA cleared players who were called up by Brazil, Chile, Mexico and Paraguay during the international break to play in the Premier League this weekend. Here's the report.
New signing Daniel James could make his Leeds United debut when they take on Liverpool, with the club also confirming that star player Rafinha will be available for selection. The 24-year-old looks set to be ruled out of the fixture after he did not travel to link up with Brazil over the international break due to COVID-19 quarantine restrictions, and a complaint was lodged with FIFA. The complaint has now been withdrawn and FIFA has confirmed Rafinha will be available for tomorrow's clash. Stuart Dallas is available despite the Northern Ireland midfielder withdrawing from international duty for personal reasons, while Klish and Junior Firpo have recovered from COVID-19. Along with Rafinha, for opponents Liverpool, Alisson, Fabinho and Roberto Firmino will all be eligible to play. Virgil van Dijk, who was briefly limping after the Netherlands match on Tuesday, is fully fit for tomorrow's match.
We saw it in the last 2 games we played against them, so it was the first time for me playing Leeds, and it was really exciting, both games. So they have obviously a specific way of playing football, playing the game. With a strict man marking philosophy or idea in defending, and very, very flexible and very brave, very dynamic in possession. So it's a really good football team, and yeah, we have to be at our best to get something there.
James Milner has returned to training and could come back into contention to face his boyhood club. Leeds will be looking for their first win of the 2021-2022 season, while Liverpool will be keen to get back to winning ways after being forced to a 1-1 draw against Chelsea in their previous match.
And with that premiership story on the international scene, it's a wrap for the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. It's been a pleasure having you and hope you join us again next Saturday for another edition of the Legends edition news. But now, I'm Topi Lembila saying thanks for watching KBC Channel 1, and it's now over to Catherine Kasavuli to wrap up.
Thank you very much, Topi. It's been a sporting Saturday with Henry Wanyoike and, of course, Topi Liambela with all the sports news going round. Well, it's been a wonderful pleasure having you, serving you, and being with you. My name is Catherine Kasavuli. This has been the Legends edition. And of course, our sign language interpreter was Lensa. Well, let's do it again sometime next week. Stay with us.